to use Mission, but it has been him this split once again. 32% of his team's damage. Gemini, a facilitating factor in this game with the Viego, going to have to try and set up that mid-jungle 2v2. Because J-Team, if we continue going on at even pace, that team fighting that front to back, you talked about the engage tools there, Nightstar. There are so many different elements that make it easy to execute as the game goes on. So here we go, CFO versus J-Team, a battle for near top of the standings. Remember that J-Team were tied with PSG at the start of today. They need this win to keep up that tie, to sit near the top of the standings still. What am I saying? Sit at the top of the standings. You know what I'm saying. This is a big win for J-Team if they can pull it out, but for CFO as well. After losing to Deep Cross Gaming earlier on, after losing to Beyond Gaming yesterday too, CFO needs some wins under their belt because Frank Esports and Impunity, they're catching up.
Yeah, they're really nipping at their heels. And for CFO, this would be a big confidence-inspiring win for their fans because they see the loss against BYG and how they lost against them. It was very LCK-esque. And that sort of planning just doesn't pan out very well here. As it's going to be a short little 2v2 trade. But Viego actually looking for a late invade possibly here. 4v4.
Bandage toss start as well. I mean, Mission as he comes in. Needs to join in quickly. Uniboy's zoning him out. But the bandage toss connects here onto Lil V. Remember, a second one can come through as a handshake is great from Enzo. But J-Team now still have the range with the Aphelios. Uniboy still zoning away. And Gemini, because of this, I mean, he's going to be zoned away while Kongyue is well and truly into his wolves to kick off. Gemini's going to be behind.
They have vision onto Kongyue. However, slowing down Viego Jungler isn't... Okay, they just try and play very far forward for this level 1. I'm not sure if they were able to deny the melee EXP. That actually would have been critical because with the way J-Team are posturing, it does look like they miss out on that EXP. So they will miss out on level 2. And hopefully Shun and Koala are able to really assert themselves. But I feel like we're going to see a possible level 3 visit. Whether it's from Kongyue or from Gemini to make sure he can protect this bottom lane, but Gemini is already on his way up towards his top half of the map.
Yeah, I'd say more likely from Kongyue, right, as he clears out the Gromp here. The wave being pushed up is a defensive ward from Shun and Koala, but as Lil V and Enzo are still trying to get level 2, Koala going in for the engage once again. The handshakes have been great from Enzo as Koala gets double bandage shots of the Ren coming through, the Ignite as well. Enzo is ticking down, but the pot will save his life, so never mind. No gank in the bottom side. It's just 2v2 action that, as you pointed out, it comes off of getting in lane first.
Yeah, Enzo taking a lot of damage, and Lil V still not level 2. That's why the trade comes through onto Enzo so easily. Gemini looking for a gank top.
I mean, this could be good timing as well. Arctic Assault used, but Rest gets in range. The top laner of CFO gets the auto, and first blood goes down. Meanwhile, CFO on the other side of the map are diving. Koala's going to die here with the second bandage shot, not connecting as the turret is out of max range. Lil V getting forced out of lane, and CFO bot to top are slapping J-Team with their early bullets as he flashes in. Shun wants to go on in as Lil V comes back in. The Ren's not enough. The turret, yes it is. Shun gets a kill on Lil V, a 2-0 Callista, a 1-0 Nah. CFO explode this game.
Oh my lord, this is what we wanted to see from CFO. If we look up and down, these are probably the best 2 or 3 laners at each of their roles, and this is how things can start out well for them, is just try and pub stomp them in lane. And the level 1 just snowballs out of control. Lil V not being there for the EXP. Yes, he does find the first kill, but then I don't know why he still remains here. Shun just goes in, gets a couple auto attacks, and makes sure he has that extra attack speed. And
the minions.
Nice minions.
No. Otherwise, he probably lives. I mean, you're right. Why he came back in, I don't know. I think more importantly, Lil V thought he could outplay it and did to the most part. But it cost him so dearly. Yeah, only one summoner up as well. I mean, that's the cleanse with the Ignite, I should say, too. But Shun now has Berserker Greaves with double longswords tonight, so.
Yeah. That's the big part, right? He has the tier 2 boots, has the extra attack speed, has the long swords to match the long swords on Lil V. And this is the perfect position where you want to have this lane against the Renata Aphelios. They are going to outscale you, so you do have to find a lot more purchase in this lane phase, and Shun Koala have done just that.
Well, I mean, it's a great start. Again, that's a 10 CS lead in the bottom side. Shun and Koala continue to hold dominance, and you can see now that Gemini is spotted on the bot side. Kongyue can't go anywhere near it. Lil V and Enzo have to pay respect as well. They're only level 3. And as Kongyue clears out the bottom side of his jungle, just note that Gemini has a lot more to clear up towards the top side, with everything shortly respawning, and a lot of lanes that seem to be giving him opportunities at this point. As I feel like we did talk about jungles coming into today, and they're going to be pivotal in this early game, and maybe mid laners are too.
There's a clear roam into the top lane. Rest has seen this, but he's just playing far forward.
The glacial path is great into Meganar. No chance. Ult hits first from the rock, and that's a kill back into the arms of this Sejuani.
Okay, that was really baffling because they saw Uniboy leave lane through that top half river, and there was just no respect shown over. They made the assumption he was going for a buy, but with his mana, with where it was, he had enough mana to make that roam up. But here's the counter roam. Here's the counter play.
This is where the success came through first.
Goodbye,
I mean, for J-Team, their support is dead, and yeah, he's got the bailout, but under turret, mission taken up. Maybe a trade. Lil B gets that, and look, Kongyue's coming in as well. He doesn't have 6, but Shun doesn't either. He looks to go in for the trade, but doesn't want to risk it at this point. Lil B going to be happy with the response, considering he's so far out as Gravitum hits, and just like that, CFO have lost a little bit of their edge that they showed us about a couple of minutes ago.
They still get 1 kill. And while a kill does go back into the hands of Lil B, look at the CS differential still. It's 24 CS. That is 4 waves of minions. We'll see. And he also missed some EXP as well because he's been denied EXP from just starting out at the start of the game. And yeah, the 1 kill is going to help, but is he going to be able to keep pace with the Kalista? Still working on a timer, but level 6 hit by this Kalista means even more zoning is going to come out.
Yeah, it's a good point as well with the Fate's Call up and available. The fact that Shun also gets to stay in the lane, probably why that CS continues to grow, is Lil V all the way back towards his own jungle. As once again, Mission, as he clears out the wave, starts hovering towards bottom lane, and you can see that J-Team are like, all right, if they keep going bot, then we need to make the play top again.
Yeah, attention thrown towards a blue buff. We've seen a lot of blue buff attention today. And yet another blue buff stolen away from the red team by that blue side. So it's not been going well for red side when it comes to securing their own blue buffs today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the blue buff has just been a party, you know, as you're saying. Is just a quick mention, J-Team on this Rift Herald, that's going to be the top side trade. Now for CFO, alongside stealing enemy jungle, Dragon comes through as well. You can see that Shun and Koala are just doing so well. This is the third turret plating taken. Yeah, at 8 minutes into the game. Now, Rest this time is giving respect over to Kongyue, as he knows he's over towards the Krug, and he's about to go Meganar too, so feeling a little bit cocky, thinking about stepping up to the turret.
But 1v3, that's probably a little bit ambitious. So I don't think Rest will commit to it.
Oh, well, just there's kidding. Rest, and Rest commits to it. Into the Meganar against towards a great ulti for the Glacial Prison. Locks him in place. Kongyue's second Cyclone as well. As he almost goes down. It slows the turret from being taken for first turret blood with 3 members. And I have to say, Rest, that was gutsy.
Gutsy. And it's going to pay off massively because now Shun gets first turret gold solo as the Kalista, and this was their big pub stomp win condition, right? If he doesn't get ahead, he's going to get outscaled by the Aphelios, but now he's just miles ahead of Lil V on this Aphelios. And this is one of the struggles we saw from Lil V during playoffs, was that his laning sometimes was just very, very suspect. Falling behind, he would get hit by Nautilus hooks. Fortunately for him, no Nautilus exists in this game, but when you're playing up against a Kalista Mumu, there's plenty of engage besides that Nautilus that you need to be worried about.
I was gonna say, I mean, a Mumu has 2 bandage tosses, so
yeah.
I feel like you'd just be as scared about the support, and especially now that we haven't seen yet, but we know it's coming. The Fates call a Mumu combination where he gets thrown in and he pops the ulti straight away.
Yeah.
It's such a nice duo, and we've seen it spam quite a lot in the LPL too. And you can see that the threat is enough for J-Team to pay respect. Right now, sitting 40 CS down in the 2v2. And even importantly enough, the gold is 2,000 up for CFO. So rest ulti means something. The solo turret as you picked out Nightstar also means quite a great deal. The first Dragon for CFO, the early game still well and truly under their wing and looking pretty clean here throughout the laning phase.
Yeah, this is a much different CFO in this early game. They've come out with a lot of fire. Shun being a critical pressure point for that, as well as he already has a mythic completed Hysterics, has tier 2 boots. And on the flip side, Lil V is just sitting on some poor little components for his kill force.
And no boots, you're right. It's just such a massive difference. I mean, Mission, as we come back to him, he's close to getting his first item too. You can see he's 114 CS. Doing pretty well in the CS department too. As Shun and Koala want to set themselves up for the blading through mid, and it's only 11.5 minutes. So right now, I mean, we've talked a lot about this in the LPL, and I know you probably have 2 Nightstar. The Kalista changing, going to the side lane here, adding pressure with the gigantic lead she has.
Yeah, now Rest setting up for a play.
Rock is dead. Yes, he is. Gemini, easy reset. Rest survives the turret hits, and Gemini's going to get out as well. So thank you so much. Shun was a part of that, and it's just beautiful to see Rest on this after his little flip earlier in the game.
And now you can see how CFO, their win conditions just changed so drastically with Shun in the lineup, because it's about snowballing Shun as much as possible, get resources into him. Whereas when they were playing around, when it came to playing with Atlan, it was more about, hey, Atlan, just make sure you're strong enough to participate in these team fights. We'll get to that scaling point eventually. Other than that, we'll just continue to have Mission, make sure we get to that those scaling, play more aggressively here. But now they don't need Mission to be the main carry. Yes, he's still farming well, but he doesn't have to do everything himself. Especially when you have a Kalista, he can be the main engage as well as the main damage source.
It's always funny to me, I mean, just seeing Mission's damage numbers, like a direction change, that's why it feels so strange. Where CFO, like this one-track mindset's always been there, and Mission's still impactful though, right? Like we're not at the point where he has one item where he starts pumping out the damage, but we're definitely still stuck talking about Shun for the time being, and especially in front of Dragon Nightstar. It's going to be the second one here for CFO. They have the Ren, they have that big Kalista, and we've got the crown here from Mission, which is also a bit of a change in direction from what we've seen with the Night Harvester, with the Everfrost, as Uniboy going in, that's risky. That's very, very risky, especially with Dragon now sporting.
Yeah, all eyes are going to be on Shun in this next team fight because he does have all the gold onto CFO. But this crown purchase is really, really cool because of the fact that if you look on the side of J-Team, they don't have any range to really break the crown shield. So Mission, once this fight starts, should get full impact out of this.
Well, he's going to be the one jumping in as he zones away. TP coming through, but the Dragon's already going to be gone. Glacier Path not taking his vantage shot is the focus, but on the side, you can see Mission with the stolen ulti. The hostile takeover great as they're all focusing. Kongyue is split away as Uniboy gets a one-man ulti, but it's on to Rest. This Nah, who is miniature, now forced out to CFO wants to re-engage as this is going to be huge. They're running in with low health bars, but Gemini straight in with the Heartbreaker. Bandage shots connecting as well. Koala with no ulti. J-Team have lost their jungler, you said it. Mission picked it up on the back end, and with the Dragon too, despite how close it is, it's still a CFO win.
CFO narrowly pulled that one out. It looks like even though it was a 5v4, J-Team had the opportunity to maybe turn for the fight still because of the fact that there were so many low health bars over on the side of CFO. We'll see the replay. They immediately turn onto Mission. Mission picks up the Renata ult, and it just, for the most part, whiffs. But the big thing is it splits the fight, and it really just becomes a messy affair all around. Kongria does get taken down by Mission, as it's just a bit of a brawl between two bruisers. And there's a little bit more sustain coming out from a Silas than a Wukong at this point in the game.
Yeah, just a little bit more. I mean, I know Crown was already down at that point, but still, I believe it was item difference. Kongyue now has the Divine Sundra. The more important point to nail down here is that with a 4K gold lead, CFO picked up that last dragon and are on track to set themselves up for sole win condition this time around too. They've got first item on everyone, plus a Gwinsu's now available on Shun, who still maintains that 40 CS lead. Yeah, a full item over Lil V here, Nightstar. Ridiculous is the word.
And the other issue here for Lil V is the fact that it's so difficult for him to get into these fights because of the zoning power coming in from Rest on the Snar, Koala on the Mumu, and also Mission on this Silas, depending on what ultimate he does take. Most of them are going to be zoning ults, right? So he doesn't have tier 2 boots. He has to be absolutely perfect with his Gale Force usage every single time. Otherwise, he's going to be sitting like 3 screens away from the fight, just waiting for the possibility to be able to walk up.
Yeah, it's such a scary situation. But, you know, we haven't seen a full-on fight apart from that dragon fight. He's hoping the next dragon will give us a little bit more insight as turrets still keep going down. CFO playing the side lanes well. And you can see top now broken, bottom now broken as well. And the second turret going down for CFO, it means the gold continues to rocket up. Still at that 4K, but will be a little bit over as we start preparing for what CFO like to call surprise hour. I mean, Lil V's here by himself with Herald as well. Mission wants to make the dive, and even threatening Kongyue is huge. Glacial Path is taken into a prison, the Evercross as well. He's going to go down, but no, into the stolen ulti gives him a bit more time. It means the Herald gets a charge, but it is a trade that J-Team should be happy to take.
Pleased with that, but they do give up a second charge onto that mid lane. And whenever you have these Kalista compositions, it is really important to get maximum value out of these Rift Heralds, right? Because you just don't have the range to siege towers later on without Baron buff. So it is a lot about being able to pick these fights and take towers after those fights. But now J-Team will be able to recoup a little bit of gold. That is an objective bounty snagged. Unfortunately, it goes into, you know, their jungler and top laner who aren't going to be able to get the most out of it. But it's all about Lil V. Can he continue to find farm and continue to power up? Because they are going to be lacking a little bit of damage, even if they do pack a lot of CC in this competition.
Yeah, good point, right? Like, we rely on Lil V, Uniboy as well. Will have some himself, but he's gone Morello second. Yeah. You can see that the healing has become a big problem with 3 members prioritizing it massively. And yeah, it is a different path because we haven't really seen that much Morello, only in some of the Sphere cases. It's been the Chempunk Chainsaw as sometimes the first item that usually a jungler picks up or an AD user in the team to compensate.
Yeah, it will be, should be, like Chempunk Chainsword picked up by Kongyue. He is, you know, losing his jungle, so this is the most cost-effective purchase for him. Whereas the Morello Namicon, because you are already getting that heal cut coming in from the jungle position, I would have preferred just to sit on the Oblivion Orb, but obviously it's all about this fight, and that's the biggest power spike you could possibly get here.
And I mean, look, CFO are here first. Kongyue in the river.
Teleport coming in behind.
Through. A bandit
They're just
shot
turning
only on the Mirage. I mean, Uniboy is just in such a bad place. That TP needs a bit of a question as that Morello won't save him. No Sonjas for you as Rock now turned on from Mission. The stolen Glacial Prison. The gap closed. Shouldn't able to free kid. And even though Lil B has a nice ulti, it doesn't matter. Uniboy is checked out. And CFO with the third dragon continue to bludgeon.
And while I was definitely critical about this CFO draft, right, because it is really all about snowballing this early game, we haven't seen that early game come out from the side of CFO. They've definitely shown up to play here. They've come out very, very strong in the early game, and maybe it's just because of the fact that they know these players on J-Team, and just the fact that this is a J-Team universe showdown, maybe that gives them that extra little bit of fire to come out playing today.
I mean, I feel like the game plan from Shun and Koala was on point, right? You made a really good point in the early game where you said the laning came through as a level 2 first because Shun and Koala got there because Lil V and Enzo had to fight off the invade. And while Gemini fell behind in the jungle because the invade was unsuccessful, at the very least, the bottom lane getting that early advantage, abusing the window, forcing Lil V and Enzo to the position they are, and just look at the level difference, even on support here, right? As Koala going to get engaged on. Nice ulti here from the mid laner, but the problem is, Uniboy, even with the bailout, still going to die. A 3-man ulti from Kongyue is great, but look in the backline. Shun survives. This Kalista stands strong, and try as J-Team might, they still can't kill her.
Oh, Koala
Okay,
does
Koala's
fall.
dead, though. Well, Lil V almost has the ulti. Hang on, I'm going to change my tune. He doesn't have the Inferno, but the range is coming in as Rock wants to jump on him, but the Ren, the smite should be enough. No steal today. And I was right for once as J-Team now have to get the hell out of dodge, but Lil V's ulti is going to turn into Gravitum. It's a 2-man here, root in the backside, the Gale Force. Big V time here. Little out of the picture as Rest wants to chase on up, but Gravitum once again. Lil V at full HP is Enzo going to be next to him. The bailout hits max range and doubles the Dirk with a quick cleanse. He's now to 1v3. No turret next to him as Rest chased up, bouncing on the Megadar. I don't know how he outplays that one. And of course he doesn't. CFO wins in the end, gets Baron onto 3 members, but J-Team gave them a hell of a run.
And more importantly, Lil V is able to claim 2 more kills, one of them being a 1,000 gold bounty, which gives them a small lease on life. They're still behind majorly, namely 7k gold, so it's still a tough climb, but when you're talking about their 1-win condition, it is Lil V, so the possibility, the dream fight still lives on.
I mean, look at the damage to the replay here. Starting to see that, yeah, Lil V is penetrating the minimal armor on this side.
Yeah, and they try and go for the seal, but of course, very, very difficult against the Kalista competition with the Ren Smite combination. And it's sort of just a bit of an overextension, and this is a great ultimate coming in from Lil V. He goes for the Gale Force to pick up that kill. It's 1,000 gold. It's going to help them out considerably, but for CFO, they get what they want, right? They need Baron buff to actually break towers.
Well, you can see, I mean, they're already starting to push in the sides. Look at Top Wave. Top Wave is slow pushing towards the inner turret as well. Really nice setup here from CFO. And despite us complimenting J-Team's AD carry and talking about the scaling, we're still so far off with a 23-minute game that is breaking down the doors of the base. And Inhibitors now going to be dropping as well. Shun still in the prime of his life as CFO are going to get another angle too with the closer prison on Lil V. They got him! The bailout comes through, but Mission still buys time to closer prison early from the rock. That ain't Dwayne Johnson as Gemini jumps on him once again, and Shun with a 4-man base roll. The curse of the sad mummy. But will Koala cry further as he flashes away? J-Team still survive. Shun though, that's a problem because he still stands strong, and with the waves crashing in, J-Team are too low to contest him further.
And that fight looked almost like it could have turned for the side of J-Team, but unfortunately, CFO, the walls are too large. Now they're out to a 10k gold lead. We'll get to see the replay, but the tower was just doing so much work for J-Team, helping them out, evening the numbers to a certain degree, keeping at least the gold gap somewhat reasonable in that fight. But unfortunately, because Lil V goes down so early, that's a lot of their punch taken away from them. And even though they still have some of that wombo power, the itemization just isn't quite there to back up the skill usage.
I feel like the competitiveness of J Team needs to be highlighted, but still it's 10k gold down. They're going up against an Ocean Soul now as well. And I feel like that makes the timer a little bit harder to predict as well. When we have Viego, Silas, Callista, players that can elongate fights, especially with Gemini getting resets. I feel like right now, Nightstar, we have to hope that J Team get the burst out, the perfect Aphelios ult, the perfect Uniboy ult here on Lissandra. Everything needs to be perfect. Otherwise, J Team are going to lose this game in under 30 minutes, and it comes off the back of CFO pushing the pace in a brand new way for this team.
Yeah, really the hope and prayer for J Team is find a pick.
On mission.
Okay.
On mission. He's
That's
stolen
one.
the ulti. Will he get bursted down before? No. The stolen ulti there, and J Team is still all grouped up. A great pick. CFO might get top lane turret, but the fact that they slow the game down, even if a little bit, could be great, unless Gemini finds any more. The Kongyue, the flank is there, but the control ward will stop him from getting any closer.
They still have 3 ults to work with for the side of J Team. So it's going to be hard for CFO to just end the game here. And Lil V, the next target is that Infinity Edge. If he's able to get that, maybe they just find that one fight. That's a...
good. On Koala, there's the engage.
Okay,
Sad Mummy's available, but the face call comes first. He wants to knock him back. It's going berserk. J-Team with the turnarounds here, and CFO biting off too much for their britches. Kongyue with the Cyclone, not preemptive as it sends away CFO. And Nightstar now, despite Ocean Soul, despite the 10k gold lead, now I'm starting to question a little bit more that this game is not done and dusted yet.
Sarix, I definitely believe this game has one more massive team fight in store for us.
Oh, at least.
And for CFO, it has to really boil down to that last fight, because if they lose that next one, then things really come into question. Can they actually get onto the backline then if Lil V gets to that 4th item? Because no doubt it would be something like the GA or some durability item, maybe a Bloodthirster. And at that point, maybe you just don't have enough oomph to finish him off, and he's able to just pull the 200 years card onto you.
Yeah.
And as of this moment for CFO, this is as strong as they get, because they have their stasis and the Zanyas onto Mission. They also have the GA onto Shun, and they have a QSS onto Shun. So he has QSS and he has Cleanse probably for the next fight once that gets to that point, because it is such a low cooldown. In the meantime, they'll secure themselves a Baron Nashor. So their one way of sieging turrets is now revived, and we'll see how much they can get with this push.
I mean, again, kind of needs to be base breaking, ground breaking. I feel like if CFO walk into Fog of War, that they don't have everyone grouped around. J-Team have shown that their quick engage, their quick picks can slow this down. So, Baron is crucial here for CFO, and yeah, around the vision, around the wall, that ward especially, no CFOs coming in as they scout them out. The problem might be Rest now, who's going into Meganar and has flash available. J-Team are behind a turret next to a wall. Rest is everything right now as he throws a rock at the rock. And I did not understand why I said that, as for CFO, the siege will continue. Rest with the one-man ulti, and I guess they're going to try and take him down, and look at the damage coming out of Mission. Successful enough as Glacial Prison is a swing and a miss, but it doesn't matter. Top lane is dead, and they can just end from the side lanes coming through. Oh! With the flash from Mission, we continue on. J-Team are going to bail out once again, and they got Mission. Lil V's ulti missed though. Lil V's ulti missing may be enough to sway me back in CFO's angle. Because with the Ocean Soul, they're trying to end this one before they get outscaled, before J-Team have a way. Two-man goes to Sad Mummies. The face call saves his life against the wall. Rest does it again. And it looks like CFO will stay strong as Lil V sits back on the mountain and watches.
And that's it.
CFO, from the early game to now, have just shown us how versatile they are. A much needed win here for the 4-3 team to move on up to the top 5 bubble.
And now, J-Team taking down a peg here as the Nexus does eventually go down. Took a little bit more effort there.